Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be very different than all the stuff I've posted in the past on this channel. Today I wanted to give a little bit of insight as to what's been going on in our world recently. And I know not all of you are from the US, but here in the US, if you haven't seen, on a global scale, we've been experiencing a lot of challenging times given what's been happening with police brutality and Black lives in our country. And so I wanted to give the opportunity to have one of my friends come on and speak to his lived experience. I met Q through the internet, through this YouTube channel, which is incredible. Last December, I made a video about passive income, and he wrote a very heartfelt, thoughtful comment that struck me, probably more than any other comment I've had on my channel, and immediately made me go to his Instagram, shoot him a DM, and we connected right away. That led to just a growing friendship over the past 5-6 months. Yeah, he has a channel on YouTube that talks about finance, and we just link up on so many different philosophies about how to be an entrepreneur, save your money. So now that we find ourselves in similar situations with a YouTube channel and going after a lot of the same things, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to hear Q's voice, his lived experience, and just kind of his perspective in this cultural moment right now. I think that's a better opportunity for sharing a different perspective outside of just my own as a white individual, white American. So I'm going to hand it over to Q.
All right. I go by the name of Q, like my friend Eric said, and Q is short for Quentin, full name Quentin Childs, and I'm from Chicago, born and raised. Literally my whole life, I've lived nowhere else outside of Chicago. And this video is extremely important, and I'm grateful to be able to have this collaborative effort here with Eric as we expound on our walks of life, basically. Clearly, I'm black. I've been black for only 31 years, as I'm only 31 years old. And with everything that's going on, everybody's in highly emotional states, and it's understandable. No matter what your skin color is, we're all emotional because we're all human beings. We all have feelings. Right now, I just want to take the time to pretty much explain where I come from, where I am at this moment in time, and I also want to make sure that the understanding is there, as well as the human nature of everything. So, like I said, 31 years old, born and raised in Chicago. I was born on the west side of Chicago, Cook County Hospital, born into poverty, single parent household. My mother and my father was divorced. My mother passed away when I was 16 years old due to breast cancer. My dad held 3 jobs at one time, so basically I was at home with just my siblings, right? My dad was out making all the money he could to provide for us. Throughout all of those hardships, it took everything in me, as well as my siblings, as well as the community and village around me, to kind of sustain the mental and physical strength to push forward. And where I am right now, I'm currently living in Lincoln Park. And Lincoln Park is a lot different today than it used to be. And it's way, way different than the west side of Chicago. So with that being said, I have exposure. I've been in poverty. I've been out of poverty. But at the end of the day, I'm still in the same black skin. So there's been a few injustices. And what I've learned throughout my lifetime is that you have to look at things for the good. You have to look for the good side of everything. So glass half full mentality, if you will. And that's one thing that I always make a priority. So, prime example, I won't ramble off a long list because, like I said, 31 years here, I could ramble off so many things as far as injustices, as far as unfairness. But I'll give you a recent one. Here in Lincoln Park, everybody and their mother has a dog. Everybody owns a dog. It's almost like a clout contest for who has the best dog. Like, people really use their dog as a form of social status, I guess. But I was walking my dog one day, and I have a border collie walking my dog down the street, and literally my neighbor 6 houses down from me, who I've never met, she saw the dog, got excited, asked if she could pet the dog. And I said, sure, let her pet the dog. And the first thing she asked me was, are you a dog walker around here? Part of me just froze. I didn't know how to take it in, but I didn't say anything, and I just walked off. But that's one prime example. And some things could be subtle, and some things could just be outright vicious, like being called the dreaded N-word, which I won't say because I don't use it myself personally. There's many things, like I said, I could tap into, but I'm just going to give you the recent, the raw, and the real. Everybody's in a state of pain right now. Everybody's in a state of high emotions. And what I want to get across is that we all have to come from a place of logic, reason, understanding. That's the most important thing, because without that, things can get as ugly as they are right now with the riots, the looting, the protesting, etc. Peaceful protest is one thing, but the violence and the senseless crime clearly just comes from anger, and we all have to kind of reel it in and have these difficult conversations. It's not easy sitting on this camera right here, right now, having this conversation, but I know it's important. I know it's necessary, as I'm sure it's not easy for Eric as well, or anybody else, to have these conversations, but they are very, very necessary. We kind of have to learn to coexist, for good or bad, better, worse, different, indifferent. We have to be here together. I don't know. I'm in a state of conflict constantly, back and forth with myself, back and forth with relationships of other people who aren't necessarily people of color. But like I said, I come from a place of logic, understanding, and an open mind, an open ear, as well as an open heart. That's also important. I feel like less people are listening right now, and more people are kind of just listening to respond. And that adds a ton of pressure. Especially right now. Everybody's getting pressured. Why are you silent? Why aren't you speaking up? Or why are you deciding to speak up right now? That's going to be the topic of conversation right now, because people are refusing to use logic. Everybody does whatever they do in their own time, and nobody knows what anybody is doing behind closed doors. So that's one thing I want to help relieve, is the pressure to speak up, speak out. Although it calls for good conversations, there's a good way to do things and there's a bad way to do things. So we have to agree on that, at least. We have to agree on that. I have a white girlfriend. I have a white daughter. And she's had these conversations with me. I've had these conversations with her. And it just goes to show, I get her perspective on a daily basis. She see all the injustices that are opposed against me, and I see the differences in our walk of life. Just like, any of my other white counterparts. But that's just the harsh reality. And as uncomfortable as it is, like I said, it's extremely necessary. Racism isn't cool no matter what. No matter who's showing racism, no matter who's being, racially profiled, or it has to end for the better sake of humanity. I have a 7-month-old daughter. She's black and white, and it's going to be hard for me to sleep at night knowing that I didn't do everything I could to help make the, tomorrow better than yesterday. Hopefully whatever change we're seeking, It's going to take some time. I may not see it in my lifetime. You may not see it in your lifetime, but with continued effort, collaborative effort, I think it's a possibility, because I was hopeless a couple weeks ago. Literally just 2 weeks ago, I was hopeless of anything changing. And as the days go by, as more conversations are had, as more collaborative efforts are made, I'm a lot more hopeful today than I was yesterday. That's all I got.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for engaging in content like this. Thank you for being supportive. I know so many people are walking on eggshells right now, and I really struggled to actually reach out to Q and ask to do this, but he showed so much grace to me in understanding, like, these are conversations that we do need to be having right now, and I'm just so appreciative to him. So stoked to continue to work together and collaborate on stuff, because he just paid off all of his debt. And I know if you've watched my channel for a while, I did another video about my other friend paying off debt. So we're going to be doing that about Q's story soon, and I'm really pumped for that. So keep an eye out. If you are interested in like financial freedom and financial stability, paying off your debt, taking care of your credit cards, that kind of stuff, Q's channel is amazing, and watching his journey is so inspiring. The fact that you freaking saved $4,000 last month is ridiculous. I have so much to learn from him in discipline, and so yeah, I'm just pumped for him and for his channel. And so if you're interested in following him and watching his stuff, go check it out. It's linked in the description. That's all I have for you guys today. I will be getting back on the horse soon with some more content, photo, video related, and business. So keep an eye out for all that soon. Much love to you all. Be kind to each other.